So tonight I wanted to go over just a couple of things related to conversations that we're having with parents of our transitional students. The timing of the call couldn't be any better because while we're in the midst of this process, some things are coming up that are creating a great list of reminders. So I'm going to share just a simple Word document with everybody and kind of talk through a few things. Please, let's make this informal and a dialogue. You know, I would love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear your questions as we go, so I'm not the one talking the whole time. Let's see, share screen. I think it's this one. Can you see my very simple Word document? And I will make it bigger. I learned the other day I have to make it super big. Is that better?
Yes.
You kind of sort of see that now. Okay, I tried to create some alliteration because I feel like when I have alliteration, it helps me remember the points. So there are three main things that I think are super important when we talk with parents. The first one is, as you're having these conversations, please make sure parents realize they have the option about what to do. They can stay where they are. They can move up. If they want to move up, but they don't do it right now, don't want to do it right now, they can help choose when they want to do it. I just want to make sure that they understand that they have options. You know, Julie and I talk about this all the time, and Brianna and I too, in a little bit of a different context. We feel like when a parent lead calls and we could offer them the choice between two classes, even if they could do both, they're more likely to say yes if they feel like they got to choose, instead of being forced into one choice. Same thing happens when we're booking lesson students. So every time I hire a new lesson teacher, I tell them, I really want 2 blocks of 2 hours if you can give it to me. Why? Because I'll fill them both faster if I can offer parents a choice. So the same principle applies. Just make sure that they know that, because we're learning that they don't. Because we know, like, it's also familiar to us how this process works, they don't. And remember too that so many of our parents are very I want to be careful what word I use, but like when they think about birth date, they think in black and white. They don't think gray. We are all about the gray. We love overlap in birthday, right? And we tend to lean towards, 3.5. Feel free to join us for preschool class. Piano corner, 4.5. You know, like, we're not pushing them out the door before they turn 4 to come into a piano class or whatever. But parents often think differently. So options, options. Questions about that? Comments? A personal experience you want to add to that? Anything? No.
Kathy, just I guess a question about specifically for Piano Corner. So what is it an option to join a currently in progress class?
No.
Okay.
And that's because of how the progression in those classes work. Similar to Young Child, which I know you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
You know, you're building from week to week. There is a little bit of review, and we can kind of massage if you want to join in the first 3 maybe 4 weeks. But after that, there's a ton of catch up, and it's harder to do. In Young Child, we can totally add you anytime in the first 10 weeks. But starting right now, like, I begged a mom today to come to class tomorrow in Young Child for the first time, because we're introducing high-low melodies, and from here on out, it's just build. So Piano Corner works the same way.
So the options are limited for Piano Corner right now.
They are. I'm going to speak to Mount Lebanon because you're a Mount Lebanon teacher.
Yeah.
We have a Saturday class at 11:15,
right,
which Elise Buckley has been waiting to start since the fall.
Yeah.
And then there's a class on Monday at 12:45 that Abby Hartman is going to teach. And some of Brianna Furchak's students will roll into that. Some Thursday students we've already discovered are rolling into that. I I don't have another one on the schedule, and mostly I don't, like, for example, an evening class, because I don't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to confirm and find out if there were going to be any other options. I only have one student who needs to move up to piano corner.
So the other thing that you can mention to these parents who are really wanting that piano corner experience, but those two options don't jive with their schedule, is to make sure they realize that we're going to be offering it during the summer.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all a child needs anyway, because unless it's just like their main passion, they really don't need to do 12 weeks of piano corner. Like 4 totally fits the bill.
Right.
But at least they know that they aren't going to miss the boat, because we found that some people felt like, oh, well, if I don't do it in the spring, then I can't do it at all, because in the fall I want to do young child. And so help them understand there are options for the summer.
Gotcha.
Okay, while you're having those conversations, the second thing I want you to keep in mind is make sure you give them a recommendation. We are the experts in terms of helping parents figure out what to do. You all have a gut feeling. Make sure you can back that up with a reason. But if your gut is telling you a child needs to stay where they are, like I heard that from a teacher today, I really think this child needs to stay where they are, then you need to tell the parent that. I just had that conversation yesterday. Like, I felt the need to at least open the conversation out of respect, so that the parent could choose. But this little girl is so happy where she is. We really don't need to move her. But it's not my decision, right? She's not going to be 3.5. Do you want to move her out of Wiggle and Grow? You can move her. So make sure you're offering your opinion. Anybody having struggles with that, or not sure how to phrase it, or getting pushback, or just looking for the magic words? Okay. The last thing, is the overwhelm parents feel. Especially for parents who are parents of 2s turning 3. They really feel it right now, because they have to make a decision about preschool by February. Like, they're entering that whole, how many places am I going to sign up, and am I going to get a space kind of thing. So they're already a little bit distracted, and parents don't know the program like we do. They don't know the progression backwards and forwards. Like we could recite it in our sleep, and maybe we do. But they don't. And so, help them avoid the overwhelm by practicing the executive function skill of perspective taking. Let's try to remember what we knew about stuff like this before we became teachers. Like, our knowledge base was like this, right? And so I think parents are struggling with, well, I don't know what that is. Like, I was having another conversation, and the mom said, wait, I'm not going to be in there with her. I was like, the next level is designed to practice independence. So not until the last 15 minutes. And sometimes we're so surprised, even after we explain that to a parent, Julie Barrett could totally chime in here, that, like, oh no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving this room. And you're like, what? You signed up for an experience where your child is supposed to be independent. Yeah, I'm not leaving the room. And then when we ask her to, she gives us a 3 on the survey that goes to Kinder Music International, because we asked her to consider giving the child 30 minutes. And the child was totally fine. But clearly she wasn't, right? She wasn't, and felt really strongly about it. So help them avoid the overwhelm. Practice perspective taking. See if you can figure out what they're thinking. Ask them what they're thinking, so we're not guessing. Because we sure guessed wrong on that one. It took several of us to figure it out. Even Jennifer got in on that one. Right, Miss Jennifer?
I did.
Yeah.
Didn't it work out? Did she keep staying?
She's still there. She's still there every week. Same chair.
She totally left when I was teaching.
I know. I can't figure this out.
I'm just going to come teach for you. It'll be fine. I'll do it a couple weeks. She'll be fine. I didn't say anything to her. She literally did it by herself.
You need to come run my show, Jennifer.
Oh, I'll tell you
I
what.
know. And to which my response is, you give us a 3, but you keep paying the bill every month? Oh my gosh. Like, could you please tell Kinder Music that you pay the bill every month, even though you gave us a 3?
You choose to be there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now a couple of tips for success. If you're not talking in person, oh my goodness, stop emailing and start talking in person. Now, let's just set aside all those people who never come to class. Because we've got a few people we're totally tracking down because we haven't seen them in a while. I'm just talking about the people who are there. Please make your goal to have a sidebar conversation or after class. And Brianna and I talked about this today. We know it is so hard with the preschool age kids to have that kind of after class conversation because the kids are running around. So maybe you might start it and say, hey, can I call you and talk about blah, 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 and then follow up with a phone call, because email is just not enough. You can follow up a conversation with an email to confirm what you've talked about, or to, like kind of repeat it so they hear it and then they read it and then you can talk about it the next week. But I really want to avoid email as the main vehicle for these conversations. Anybody having trouble getting a hold of people? So they're all there. They're all in class, the people who need to move up.
I've found that I email them first and I say, this is what I'm thinking about, and your child has turned 3 or they're about to turn 3. In a couple cases, I have some going from level 1 to level 2, and I say, I'd love to talk to you in class. So let's touch base when I see you on Wednesday or whatever. And that was really successful. Or they emailed back and said, oh, I'm not going to be there. And, as to the options portion, the way I give them options is I say, if you want, you can preview the next level, and that almost immediately gets them. And then they can see how successful their child is in that next class. So that actually worked, I want to say, twice today. I have 2 moving up.
Yeah. Jennifer, you've got a great process going. I love that you've set the tone, so you're not really surprising them, but you're still having, or your goal is still those in-person conversations. And then by inviting them to preview, it's all FaceTime, right? Because now you're sidebarring with them during their whole preview.
Mm-hmm.
So that's excellent. I know we've been recommending for a couple of families that needed to do a makeup class, that they make up in the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of a twofer, right? They feel like they're getting their classes in and they're getting to see what comes next. So anybody else have another tip like that? Because that was a goal of mine.
I'm just going to ditto Jennifer, because I found that for me, like emailing people first has been super effective.
Great. So like they're ready. Are they like open then to the dialogue when you see them?
And it just makes the sidebar conversations in class quick. It can be hard to start the conversation there, I think, because you don't want to like open this big thing and then not have time to talk about it. So
right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that too. For those of you who have people that are going to need to move up later, like let's say March, we got a slew of kids who are going to be talking about in March. And then there's always the struggle of, well, how late in the school year do you really move them?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just toss this out. When should we start talking to them about that? When should we start mentioning that to them? We have an ideal time coming up. When is that going to be?
Now.
Well, now, yes, we should start now. But what's going to happen in January that's going to really help us push that along?
Progression cards.
Yeah, the progression cards. So I forgot who I was talking to, but it happened. It was yesterday, and someone said, well, I want to know what to do about blah, 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 blah. And we were doing a play along, and I marched her right over to the progression sign on the wall, and I said, this is where your child is here. This is where I want them in a year and a half. So could we please do this in the fall? Can we talk about how to make that happen? And she was like, oh, yeah, no, okay, yeah, I want to do that. Yeah, you do. No, you do. So those progression cards, whether it's the sign on the wall or it's the ones we're going to give out in January, they are so great for those next conversations.
Hey, Kathy, we don't start any piano corner classes between now and the summer. Like when we start them in January, we won't start any new ones, right, until summer.
No, we will not. Mm-mm.
So we're blocked from moving anybody up to piano corner unless it's next year. Is that right?
Unless it's summer.
Oh, summer, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Summer. Now, okay, good. Abby Hartman, you're on this call. So Jennifer and Abby, like Jennifer, are you asking about somebody right now who needs to move to piano corner?
Well, I don't think he needs to, and I don't think he should. He's 4, and he'll be 5 in October. But he still has some inhibitory control issues that we're working on.
So let's figure out how to do piano corner in the summer.
So yeah, I mean, he could. Mom's also pregnant. I'm not exactly sure when her due date is. So I'm not sure what she's thinking about right now.
Even better for in the summer because there's no parent sharing time. Nothing.
Oh, I will float that idea then. I forgot about that. That's right.
So Abby Hartman, when you and I sit down to talk about the summer schedule in Squirrel Hill, let's make sure we get a piano corner class on the schedule.
Okay.
That could be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a couple of reminders here about the timeline that's coming up quickly. Julie is looking for decisions from you about those level 3 kids moving up to piano corner or level 2 moving up to level 3 preschool classes by Saturday, the 2nd of December. I get that you might not have all the answers. I know I'm waiting to hear back from my mama too. But tell us what you know. Tell us as much as you can tell us. And if you don't have a decision by Saturday, will you please put a due date on the card for when you expect it so Julie knows when the decision's coming. Because we're dealing with a domino effect. We don't know exactly how many spaces we have until we see who's moving up. And then when we know when people are moving up, then we can begin to see how that next level shifts in. Does that make sense? Okay.
So specifically, if you know what class they want to go to, that would be great. I'll be doing a personal cheer if we see that. And if you don't, that's okay. Let me know, you gave mom these 2 options. And I tried to communicate that too in the email, like giving you an idea of what kind of options to give the families, like Laugh and Learn in Mount Lebanon. We'll have a Monday 12:45 class. We'll have a Tuesday 4:30 class. We should have openings on Thursday at 11:15. If you can get any type of specifics like that, that would just be super.
Yeah, it's Wednesday 4:30.
What'd I say? Tuesday. Sorry.
Sorry, we cannot run a class at 4:30 on Tuesday. It's me and Abby Rogers' heart failure.
There's going to be a Laugh and Learn Wednesday at 4:30.
There is already one.
Yep.
No.
Abby is painstakingly teaching 2 kids.
Yep.
Wednesday at 4:30.
She wants more.
Sometimes it's 0. Most times it's 0. But it's fine. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Actually, the good news is these kids really struggled. So we think it's actually very good that that's been super small because it's been almost like this one-on-one kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they've come a long way. I don't know how successful they would have been in a group based on what I'm learning. I'm not sure 2 makes a group. 2 is just 2.
It's just
One of them was with me in the summer, and he was very challenging.
Yeah.
The other one last year.
Yeah.
Abby, do you know that the one of them did show up late today?
I did know that, yeah, the mom showed up. I texted them about 10 minutes into class, and I said, "Are you guys coming today?" Like, blah, 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 because no one showed up. And so 15 minutes in, one of the moms responded and said, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not coming." And then the other one wasn't responding. So I waited another 5 minutes as I stripped down the room, and I left 20 minutes into the class. And then 25 minutes into the class, when I got home, I just got a text saying, "We're here."
Oh my.
Well, I couldn't teach for like 15 minutes. Like I don't know what you want me to
I
do.
know. I
And so
felt
I
so
just
bad.
said, there are makeup classes.
They stayed and asked if they could do a makeup with me, and I had to say no because my class is over full.
Right.
And
I know. I told them, I was like, well, I teach on Thursday, so you can come tomorrow if you want. I was like, but
all right, just wanted to let you know I spoke to them. She was asking about piano corner. Heads up.
Oh no.
I don't know what to do.
Anyway.
Okay, conversation. Oh, okay. Any more questions about any of the stuff related to transitional students? I know I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time, but we just had so many. And I wanted to make sure everybody felt like they knew what to do and when to do it. Oh, and if I haven't said this before, let me say it now. Make sure all the updates are going on the transition Trello board. We're not looking for any updates on flight risk board, and we don't want to miss anything. So make sure that you're putting all the updates on that transition board. And Julie, did I leave anything out? Did I cover everything?
Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Okay. All right, just a couple little things before we wrap up the call. First of all, there's a new place on our website where the Kinder Music classes live. So let me show you where that is, so you do not wonder what in the world is going on. I think this is it. Okay, can you see this now? The home page?
Yes.
Fascinating, because Zoom just moved all of your pictures around, and now you're sitting right in the middle of my screen, and I can't see the web page. I'm glad you can see it. I can't really see it. So we put a few new things out here for the holidays, but the main, I'm talking about this picture here. This will go away in a couple weeks, but now under Parent Resources, Kinder Music makeup classes. Do you see that? Did not live there before. And it now has a completely different looking page. So this just talks all about how to reserve it, a few little tips, and then only the calendar. No special events, no talk of gift cards, gift certificates. This is just for me. Okay. So I just want you to know, because depending on where you're copying the link from when you're sharing it, the link is sitting in a different place. If people want to talk about gift cards, they're now under this brand new thing called Give Music. So you can give music with a gift card, or you can give music through a birthday party. And the gift card page looks like this, which right now has this on it. It won't stay like that after the holidays, but simple, and there's our cards. Okay. Questions about gift cards or about where to go for the makeup classes? Okay. Make sure that you are announcing the gift cards. We know that people like to give, they like to ask the grandparents for sure to give music. I get so many comments about how, well, we don't really need any more stuff, but I would love it if my mom or my mother-in-law would pay for Kinder Music. So it's easier than ever for someone who is not actually enrolled with our program to purchase one of those things. They do not have to set up a full-blown account. I'm so glad we figured out how to refine that process. Along with that, be sure to invite your parents to consider adding instruments to their home collection from our instrument boutique. The more they're making music at home, the more they are listening to the CDs and engaging in class, and then getting more out of it. So, and when you guys are talking about this, and Jennifer and I talked about this today, when you guys are talking with parents about instruments at home, please encourage them to separate their instruments from the toys. Instruments should live with instruments, and toys should live with toys. If we can start helping parents and children from a really young age to understand and differentiate that, then how much easier will it be when they put that violin in their hand and they don't leave it on the middle of the floor, or whatever else it might be, dulcimer. glockenspiel with lost bars, broken mallets, etc. You know, so yeah, throw that in.
Are we still gonna do that, the instrument boxes that you were talking about for, what was it, $35 or more? I think?
Yeah, so I've ordered a dozen boxes. They're plastic. They're kind of like a little plastic toolbox. That's kind of the way I would picture it. And that has a purple handle on it. And it's about like this big. And if a family purchases $35 or more, we'll give them this box, and Abby Rogers is all set to personalize it for them with the child's name and decorate it with paint pens, so they can then put all their instruments in it. And then we're going to brand it. I'll put a checklist of all the instruments we recommend in the box, and then they can start checking off what they have.
I discovered a nice sales pitch today in Laugh and Learn too. When we're doing the on the farm, I can see all the letters. We're matching up instruments with animals, and I realized we were selling 3 of the 4 instruments: the bells, the sticks, the eggs.
And they got the sandblocks in the fall. Well,
some of them did. If they're moving up, they did. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah. I didn't think about selling sandblocks to the preschoolers, but if you've got preschoolers that want sandblocks, we do have some extras of those. I had to buy them by the case, so I have more than a few.
98.
Yeah. Abby knows exactly how many there are. 98 in that box. The other thing I want to mention too, and I'm trying to get this out in a blog article by Friday to parents, is that in the spring for the toddlers, the instrument is supposed to be a pair of 1-bell jingles. So if they're going to give bells like to a child that's not enrolled, that's great. But we're hoping to give them the 10 bells. I'm just waiting for confirmation back from AI that they're going to be able to give me all that we need, because we need 200 pairs of bells. Count all the family classes. Yay! And the other thing is, next week, as our gift CDs are going home, we have New Year's, mostly New Year's, 600 New Year's CDs, and then we have some Christmas CDs, and Abby Hartman has already got them divided up by location. Studio specialists are going to pick them up, take them to the locations. Studio specialists, you will probably have to organize them by teacher, right, Abby Hartman? They're not organized by teacher, are they? No. After she counted out 600, she stopped.
I had to go teach.
But make sure they go home next week, and please make a big deal out of the fact that this is our gift, because we are so thankful to have them. I was thrilled that KI came out with brand new CDs. They have the new branding on them and everything, so they look good. I think you'll be proud to share them with your families.
Now, for your young child students getting the CDs too?
Yes, they are. Everybody. And so what may happen is siblings may want a holiday CD and a New Year's. I don't know. Food for thought.
In a family class, both kiddos still?
I was going to do one per family in the class, but that's probably not going to go over very well. Abby, how did you count them out? One for each child?
We count by number of children enrolled, so there should be.
Okay, so one for each child. Laura Mason, I bought enough. I bought 700. We don't have nearly that many kids enrolled. So make sure both kids get one. And maybe what we could try to do is put holiday and New Year's CDs in the family class, because you've got 2, one on Wednesday and one on Thursday, right?
Just Thursday.
You don't have anybody?
Oh,
Wednesday?
sorry. I only have one pair of siblings.
Okay.
In both family classes, actually.
How about if you and I touch base on Tuesday when we're in
Okay.
the video together, and we'll make sure you have what you think you might need.
Okay.
Okay.
Kathy, I think some other of us have siblings enrolled in a class, though.
Yeah, we do. I know we do. So, yeah, I did not ask Abby to go through. That would have taken hours for her to figure that out.
Oh, sure.
So, we can definitely take a look at what we have in Mount Lebanon, and then if you want to try to pull separate for siblings, because I know I have several pairs of siblings. I've got several sets of twins. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. Here's the thing. It's a gift. They didn't know it was coming. If they end up with two of the same, it's either one for each car or one to give away to a friend, however they want to handle it. I'm sure you guys will sell it, right?
Yeah. I love the idea of one to give away to a friend. I think that's.
No, I love that. So, share the joy of the music or the season. You choose.
And how happy are those grandparents to have their very own CD?
Well, actually, they really are, because we have had grandparents who want to buy one just to
Yes.
right? How many times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last thing. Let us know if you have any questions as you go with the Instrument Boutique. I promise the process is simpler than ever. Check boxes on a clipboard, and then it goes in the folder. Mount Lebanon, we are struggling to keep that white folder in the Instrument Boutique boxes. We're working harder. It's floating by mistake because we're trying so hard to process the transaction. So we will learn. We will do better.
I put one in there today. Hopefully it was there tonight.
Yeah, well, Laura made one
Thank you.
yesterday.
All is well.
I'm sorry, what?
I just said I did have it tonight. Thank you. All was well.
Yay! Yay. And how cool is it that we are using resonator bars in class, and then next week we used them in Wiggle and Grow this week, but we'll use them in Laugh and Learn next week. Shake the apple tree. I never even thought about that. So it was happening.
And we have more of those, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to order some more of those resonator bars. It's so hard to know how many we're going to need. I don't mind having a little bit of inventory, but in case you haven't noticed, we're kind of out of space in Studio One. So I don't want too many left over. Okay. Hey, we've more than done our thing. Anybody need anything before we go? Yeah.
I have a very specific question about a transition student. So I don't know if
You want to toss it out, or
so I'm just want to make sure that I present realistic options as far as what classes are open. Because I only have one kiddo moving up to level 3 possibly, and I think they'd be all for it, but all the evening classes are, am I correct, except for that 4:30 Wednesday, which might be too early for them to get there. The other evening classes are all full. Am I correct?
Well, there's only one other evening class, and that would be Mary's, and yes, it's
Mary's and my Robinson class, the preview did well tonight, and then there will be one spot left, and Dominic was planning on doing that in January.
okay. So then you're saying you have yet another little person?
This is one from and it's a Mount Lebanon family too. So
Mount Lebanon family. Can they do Saturdays? Because we're probably going to have space on Saturday.
okay, they possibly. I just want to make sure. I didn't want to say, oh, there's a Saturday class, and then be like,
yeah. Well, I wouldn't promise. I would say
okay.
we're anticipating. We're still waiting to see how many of those families want to move to piano corner.
Okay.
But I think I'm expecting some movement there.
Okay.
Julie, would you
So
say
possibly a room in Saturday, definitely room Wednesday at 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
What about Sunday at Squirrel Hill?
Oh, it's full. Oh, it's full.
It's full.
Yeah, it's fuller than Brianna wants it to be.
Fantastic.
Yep, it's got 7, and she's got 1 moving up already.
Nice.
And she's already moved kids up to get the class started. So yeah, yay! Because we had to cancel that last year because we couldn't. Anyway, celebrating that.
Laura, real quick sidebar. Dominic, who you think is going to take that Wednesday night spot?
So Dominic Seals, he was in my family class on Wednesday night in Robinson, and he dropped because the mother-in-law had basically he was in school 5 days a week.
Okay.
And so they had to drop him out of kinder music for until that foot healed.
Okay,
And
so he's going to
planning on
rejoin
back in
kindergarten.
January, but he would
Okay.
be level 3 in January, and he's definitely ready.
Okay, because I didn't see that, and I was like, "Whoa, who's this Dominic?"
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should put that. I
No,
didn't think to put that because he's not in my.
He's not enrolled with us right
He's
now.
not
Okay.
enrolled right
Then
now.
I'm not going to save the
Still
spot.
need to
Okay,
put him on
sorry.
there. Yeah, make sure we put him on there. And I bet, Julie, I bet he's on the flight risk board. Just copy the card.
Okay, I'll look into it.
All right, I want to let the rest of you go. Thank you so much for a great call. I'm sad because I don't know when we'll actually be together again before January. It seems like such a long time since I've been together as a group, but I'm so excited about our training. It's going to be, the theme is difference makers. We're going to be talking about being difference makers. And we're hoping to feature, Mary and I have already talked about having her help engage us in some dialogue and learning about how to have difficult conversations. And I know we can all gain so much from that. And then we've got some new opportunities as a program and ways that we're going to make a difference. And then we're going to talk about how we can make a difference by being consistent when it comes to what we're teaching and how we're teaching. So it's going to be great. So excited about it. Make sure it's on your calendar. It's the first Friday in January. We are meeting in Robinson as promised, so everyone can get to see what that place is like.
I forgot about that. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I think it's really going to be fun to be out there, actually, because it's just, well, we just need to break it in. It's just time, right? We just need to break it in.
I've never been. This is exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. And yeah, okay, so we're going to go now, but I just wanted to plant that seed because I want you to get excited about it. But you guys have a really, really great night. I hope you're enjoying your families and making music. I hope I get to lay eyes on each of you before the holiday break, but thank you for all that you're doing. And so much thank you for the hard work. I know this is just detail after detail with these transition students, but this is one of the ways you're making a difference. Other businesses do not pay this much personal attention to these families and these children, and I'm so committed to that. So thank you for coming alongside me to help these parents. It matters. It matters. Okay, I'll stop now. Okay, you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.